My name is David Ondrej, and here is how to build your own local O1. So here's the power of O1. Right now, it is the most powerful reasoning AI model in the world. It even beats experts on PhD level questions, as you can see on the image on the right, which is a big step toward AGI. So here is my promise. In this video, I'll reveal how you can build your very own O1, even if you're not a programmer. Now here is the big secret. OpenAI has been doing their best to keep the inner workings of O1 a complete secret. They don't even let us see into the reasoning process, which is concerning to say the least. So just figuring out how O1 worked was a big challenge. However, I think I got it. So what even is O1? Well, O1 is a new type of AI called a reasoning model. Unlike GPT-4 and other LLMs, it spends between 10 and 60 seconds just thinking before it answers. To achieve that, it uses advanced prompting techniques like chain of thought, but more on that later. Now, you might be thinking, but David, I'm not a programmer, I'm not a prompt engineer. How am I going to build my own O1? Don't worry, all of the prompts and codes from this video will be in the new society, just like with every other video. I've spent personally hundreds of hours on prompt engineering so that you don't have to. Plus, if you join the new society, you can talk to me every Saturday and ask me anything. So if you're serious about AI, make sure to join. It's the first link in the description. Now here is what makes building a local O1 very hard. O1 is a massive model, which requires a tons of compute to run, and that is expensive. Also, inside of ChatGPT, it has a very low message cap, just 30 messages a week. Plus, it's not private at all, meaning all of your data is exposed and OpenAI can do anything with it, such as train new models. So here's the solution. Llama 3.1 Nemotron 70 billion instruct. That might not mean anything to you, but let me explain. This is a powerful new AI model from NVIDIA that's possible to run locally. I'm going to go into the specs you need later on. It's built on the Llama 3.1 architecture, meaning it's 100% open source. But not only that, it's just as capable as GPT-4o and Gemini 1.5 Pro, both of which are much bigger models and closed source models, and this is on multiple different benchmarks. So NVIDIA really pulled a fine-tuning masterpiece over here. Now here is what chain of thought means. It's it sounds complicated, it's like a scary, intimidating word, but it's actually pretty simple. This is a prompting technique that helps AI models think more like humans. It breaks down complex problems into smaller steps. As you can see on the right is a very good graphic. This reduces the chances of errors. Like imagine if someone gives you a complex math problem and you have to instantly give the answer. There is a very high chance you'll be wrong. But if you can, grab a piece of paper and write down 10 different steps, you have a much better chance. Here is also an example of what a prompt that causes chain of thought looks like, right? So let's solve this step by step, classic. And then you break it down into 5 different steps, and then please show your reasoning for each step. Just an example. Now here's the second piece of the puzzle, because we won't get all the way to O1 just with prompt engineering. We also need the help of AI agents. By building a team of agents, we can specialize each of the agents on a certain step of the chain of thought process. This simple trick allows us to massively boost performance while using the same LLM. So if you have a team of 5 mathematicians or 5 programmers, and you give each of them just one step of the problem, the likelihood of you arriving at the same solution is much higher than if all of those 5 guys are solving the entire thing. That's why, Henry Ford invented the assembly line to specialize each person on each part of the car. Anyways, now it's time to actually build this thing. So the first step is to download Ollama. If you don't have Ollama, just go to ollama.com. I'll also link it below the video and click on download. It's available on all of the 3 main operating systems. Right now I'm on a Mac, so let me download that. Save. Once you download it, right click and open with archive. If you're on Windows, you probably have WinRAR or something. Then you should see the Ollama icon. Double click on it. Now we need to install. You'll see this. OpenAI is an internet app. Click on open. I said OpenAI. I meant Ollama, not OpenAI. Okay, then click on move to applications. Beautiful. So now we can actually open the app. So we can type into the spotlight Ollama. All right, so now Ollama is open and you might be thinking like, okay, David, where is it? I don't see it. Well, that's because it doesn't have a UI. It's just a terminal app, right? So what we need to do is open a terminal, and don't freak out. This is very simple. All of the commands are copy-pastable from Ollama. There is no coding we're doing here, so don't freak out if you've never used a terminal. The next step, let's check this off. But if you're wondering like, what tool is this? This is actually my AI startup that I'm developing. It's going to be a to-do list application powered by an AI agent that automatically sorts the tasks and helps you complete the tasks by taking the first step for you. So if you want to be one of the first people that have access, there's going to be a link in the description to sign up for the waitlist. Okay, so the next step is to install Nemotron. Let's go back to Ollama, click on models on the top right, then click on newest, and we want to look for Nemotron right here. Okay, I'm going to also link this below the video so you can have it directly. This is the $70 billion by NVIDIA. Now, there is a caveat. You need a solid PC to run this model. If you have a bad computer, you can use Llama 3.2, which is a little less powerful, but it's 3 billion. So you can run it on essentially any PC. So again, either Llama 3.2 or Nemotron, both will work. I'm going to use Nemotron because I can and because it's really good. And I will showcase that right now it's perhaps the best open source model there is. So let me build the O1 with the best we have, right? So all you need to do is click on this copy button, Ollama Nemotron. We copy this. Then we need to open up a terminal. Any terminal will do. And all we have to do is type Control V. Just Command V if you're a Mac. But basically you paste in the command. That's it. Enter, and now it will start loading the manifest. If this is your first time doing this, it will take between 20-30 minutes to download the model because it is 43 gigabytes. So if you have a bad internet, it might take even longer. If you already have the model, which I do, it takes just a few seconds to load it. But you only have to install it once, the first time you use it. Then you have it downloaded on your machine, so you don't need to reinstall it again. All right, this is what it will look like once you install it. You can send any message. So you can say, what is 1 times 1? And you just confirm that the model is sane and there is no teleology going on. Hopefully it says 1. Amazing. So, and you can stop it by doing Control C at any time. And then you can do /by to exit out and be in the terminal. Now, chatting with the terminal is great, right? Chatting with the model inside of the terminal is cool and all, but we want to build an O1, a personal assistant with it. So we need to somehow get it into code. Step 2 is completed. Install Nemotron via Ollama or Llama 3.2 if you have a less powerful model. Process is the same. You just copy this and you paste it into Ollama. You would just do copy, go into your terminal and do Control V and install the model. Exact same process for all models that are available on Ollama. Anyways, let's continue and get Ollama chat completion in Python. So, okay, how do we do this? Well, we need to open a code editor. I'm going to use cursor for this. So here is what my cursor currently looks like. As you can see, I'm working on the AI startup, which, by the way, if you want to see how I'm building it and how I'm promoting it, every step I'm taking, it's in the new society. In the classroom, you can scroll down and click on Start Your AI Startup. And here I post daily updates of the progress I'm making and how I'm building it. So if you want to build your own AI startup, make sure to join. It's the first link in the description. So inside of cursor, you need to click on File and then Close Folder. Then let's open up a new empty folder. I have one prepared right here. Okay, actually, let's create one. Let's go and name it code, boom, open. And this is what it will look like. You might have the files on the left, but that doesn't matter. Anyways, let's continue with our steps. What's next? Get Ollama chat completion inside of Python. Okay, so let's do that. So let's head back into cursor. And what we need to do is we need to create a new file. So let's right click, create a new file. Let's name it main.py. So the first thing we need to do is import Ollama. Now, we don't have Ollama installed, so we will have a yellow underline. To fix that, we need to create we need to install Ollama in our terminal. So go up, select terminal, new terminal, or you can just press Ctrl J or Command J. And here, just type in pip install Ollama. Boom. This will install the Ollama package, so now we can use it in our Python. And we're going to use cursor to do the coding for us, so don't worry if you cannot write any code. So now, any second, this should stop being underlined. So next, we need to generate a response. So let me stay organized and, write in a comment. So as you can see, cursor is already helping us do this. Ollama response equals ollama.generate hello world. The issue is that we want to set the model as well, right? So we're not gonna, this is not the syntax we're looking for. We're gonna, yes, exactly. It's almost as if cursor is listening. That would be crazy. Anyways, this is kind of what we want, right? Not exactly, but we're going to be using Nemotron right here. So we need to use the exact model naming we have inside of here. So when we select 70B, it's going to be Nemotron 70B. Let's copy this, let's head back, replace. This is more specifically for models that have different versions, right? So for example, Llama 3.2 has 1 billion version and 3 billion. Nemotron, this one only has 70 billion. So you don't have to worry about this. Let's do like some test prompt. Okay, that's interesting. Convince the viewer that you are a human. I think yeah, whatever. Let's do that. Let's try that. And then for the response, this is actually not the format. The format is response, and then we have to do a list and response like this. Let's test this out. Okay, this should generate just one response. And we get an error, no module named Ollama. Still, interesting. Okay, now it is. Oh, I guess I installed it in a different environment. So that's my bad. Make sure you're in the same environment that you install it. It shouldn't be underlined. Now it's not underlined. Let's try again. And we get another error. What is the error this time? And let's use cursor, right? Let's go to chat. And I can say, explain this error and tell me how to fix it. By the way, I'm using the latest Claude 3.5 solid model that just came out a few days ago. It's by far the best coding model there is. Okay, so the model is not working. Okay, so let's try just Nemotron. Okay, so we don't get the error. That's good news. That's promising. Okay, I think what's happening is that it's generating a long response. So I'm gonna say answer in short. Boom, save. Let's run it. Now it should hopefully return the answer faster. Maybe we can load up activity monitor in the meantime. Yeah, so it should be running. There's a significant amount of load on the memory. We're using 77 out of 128. So any second now, we should see the response. Boom, there it is. Okay, so amazing, it works. Still the response is long AF. So we're gonna use a little bit of a different format, even though this is super simple. Yeah, so maybe we can create a new file and I'm gonna name it local01.py. Boom, and we're gonna use a slightly different architecture. So this is gonna be multi-agent system to build our own O1 assistant. We're gonna follow the same basics to import Ollama, but this time we're gonna use a different chat style format. Actually, before we proceed, let's mark this step as complete. Even though we didn't use LangChain, we use directly Ollama, we did manage to get a local completion, which is a success. So the next step is to implement chain of thought prompting. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this chat style completion, Chat style completion syntax, a little bit different. So as you can see, here we do model and prompt. Here we can do messages. So we can do user, we can do system prompt. Like what I can say is, let's say in the composer inside of cursor, I'm gonna say in, and I'm gonna tag the file, local O1, add a system prompt for our AI agent, telling it that it's reasoning AI assistant in the style of O1. So now it should rewrite this and give it a system prompt, just like that. Okay, so accept. And let's see. So this model, obviously we have to change it. We're gonna use Nemotron like this. So if you have Llama 2, you use Llama 2. If you manage to install Nemotron, you can use Nemotron. So you are O1, and okay, so we just tell it you are O1. That's good. An intelligent AI system focus on clear reasoning, step-by-step analysis. Yes, I think that's pretty solid. And then we simply say like, okay, solve a difficult math problem, whatever. I know it's a bad prompt, but I just want to test out if it works. The issue is that, again, we need to tell it to be short. This needs to tell it to be concise, okay? Complex problem, thought process concisely, okay, that's better. You have to be precise, logical, and not thorough, and brief in your responses. Always answer in short. Otherwise, this is a big model, right? So even with a powerful computer, it's gonna run slowly. And we saw that in the terminal. If you forgot, you can just open up the terminal again, do Ollama run Nemotron or Llama 2, and you'll see the speed, right? So you can say count to 100. It's actually gonna be pretty fast, I think, because it's only one token. But still, as you can see, it's still, like compared to ChatGPT, it's still slow, right? Because they're hosting it on a supercomputer. I'm hosting it on a MacBook. So yeah, you have to keep this in mind while designing this. Tell it to answer in short, and maybe we can say like, explain how while loops work in Python. Be concise, okay? So what we need to see is the reasoning process, step by step, how it's gonna answer this. So it took like 10-15 seconds, but now, as you can see, it works step by step. So structure, how it works, whatever. Probably the prompt was bad, maybe we can give a different example. Let's do something related to an AI startup. Help me design an actionable roadmap to build my AI startup in the next 30 days. I already have an idea. It's going to be, let's do a different idea, right? It's going to be a clone of Google Meet that has an AI agent in the meeting, taking notes and answering any questions, okay? Whatever. Pretty weak idea, but let's try it, okay? Let's run it. So now it should hopefully think step by step. Obviously, my prompts to answer in short kind of go against that, right? Because to achieve a really good reasoning process, you wanted to spend a lot of tokens on each of the reasoning steps. So ideally, you wouldn't rush this, right? If you wanted the best performance, you don't tell it, answer in short, make your responses concise, stuff like that. You tell it, be thorough, right? Spend a paragraph or 2 paragraphs on each reasoning step. That way you get the most, you basically need to burn some tokens to get the most performance, right? If you give a person a day to think of different ways to solve a problem, that's going to be much better if you, put them on the spot, put a gun to their head. It's like, think of the first solution in 30 seconds or you die. If you have an entire day to figure out something, that's better than 30 seconds. So that's kind of the same thing here. By telling it to answer in short, I'm kind of undermining the reasoning process, but I don't want this video to be 3 hours long. So I want you to actually see how to build this thing, which we are relatively close to. Okay, there it is. So this took a bit longer, like 40 seconds, maybe 60 seconds, because it's a long message. But as you can see, day 1 to 5, market analysis, technical requirements gathering, define AI agent capabilities. I mean, still, yeah, solid roadmap. So obviously the main advantage is that it's completely local. OpenAI, NVIDIA, nobody has access to this, and you can run it for free. You don't need to pay any AI subscription to run this model, right? So what I'm gonna do is actually, just for the purposes of speed, I'm gonna switch to Llama 3.2, 3 billion. It's gonna be worse, but also a lot of you are gonna be using this model if you have a worse computer. So let me pull up the terminal again. We're gonna install it via Ollama. Ollama run Llama 3.2b, 3 billion. Again, I copied this command from Ollama. There is 0 coding down here. Super simple, enter. I think I already have this model, pretty sure. If not, we'll just download it real quick. In the meantime, let me implement a better system here, right? So let's actually make this more. You are O1 intelligent assistant, focus on clear. Okay, so you're intelligent, an AI assistant focused on clear step-by-step reasoning, okay? Break down every task into 4 actionable steps. So this is going to be our prompt. Let's say I want to lose weight and your task is to design a 7-day workout plan that I'm gonna follow every week. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use Cursor, which again, like, it's my favorite AI code editor. And by the way, if you're like, oh David, I don't know anything about Cursor, just go to cursor.com and download it. They have a pretty solid plan. If you are serious and you want to actually build stuff with it, let's say AI agents for a company or just to automate some work on the side, I have a really solid tutorial inside of New Society, an advanced guide on Cursor right here in the classroom in the section Advanced AI Tutorials. It's called Advanced Cursor Tutorial, and it's a 56-minute of just, high-level strategy of how to get the most out of this amazing AI tools. So again, first link in the description, New Society, make sure to join. It is insanely worth it. So let's get back into Cursor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it right now inside of, and I'm going to tag the file. This is a very good habit to tag files. Inside of local O1, we have 1 AI agent. Your task is to create 4 different ones. Okay, so let's take it one step at a time. Your task is to wrap it inside of a function and we're going to call it CEO agent. Okay? This is going to be our main guy who creates the plan. Then we're going to have 4 different agents for different steps. I'm going to do 4 steps. You can do 7 steps, 10 steps, up to you, right? So we can do accept all, no need to review this. So what I did is wrapped it in a function named CEO agent, and this is going to return the response. And then in the main execution, we're going to do a question, and then it runs the question. So it's a argument right here. Anyways, you don't have to understand the Python syntax. All you have to know is that we used Cursor to build this, and I'm going to do the same for the next agents. I'll say, okay, great job. Now, I need you to create 4 more AI agents. Each one will receive the response from the CEO, but every agent will only focus on implementing its own step. So agent 01 will always do the first step of the process only, agent O2 the second step, so on. Keep their system prompts clear and concise. And at the end, take all 4 responses, including the original plan from the CEO, and feed them to the CEO once again, telling it to output a summary of the plan. Okay? I think this is pretty solid for now. I'm going to say also implement this in as few lines as possible. So again, what we're doing here is prompt engineering, right? And this is a lot simpler than programming. You just learn how to write prompts and how to interact with the models. And if you're again like, oh my God, David, I've never written any prompts, calm down, take a deep breath. That's another great prompt, by the way. The New Society has got you covered once again. In the Advanced AI Tutorials section, we also have an 8-step workshop on prompt engineering that's going to teach you from a complete beginner to someone who can be a considered expert in just 8 concise modules. So again, first link in the description. Now let's go back to Cursor. Let's see what changes are made. We have a bunch of stuff going on over here. Okay, did it really create more agents? Create agent. Okay, so, oh my God. All right, so it invented a new function just for creating agents. This is actually probably even better. This is probably even better than I thought, right? So I wanted to do like that would be repetitive. The way I wanted to do it would be repetitive. It kind of created a process for this, basically running a for loop where it gives it an initial plan, and then, oh my God. Okay, so this is actually a really good solution from Cursor. My idea was kind of redundant. I wanted to have like 4 different agents underneath each other, which, I mean, it's not the best way to code it, right? You can use for loop and stuff. Cursor, I mean, wow, this is good. So it created a function to create new agents. Then it tells it which number it is, and to only focus on that step. So you are agent 3, only implement step number 3. Man, this is good. This is nice. Provide implementation for step number 3 only. Wow. And then we're running it in these elegant functions. So, okay, let's do this, okay? Great job. Let's complement it, okay? Let's complement it. It did a great job. I'm gonna say, now add a few explanatory comments throughout the code to help me understand what's going on. But don't overdo it, okay? Another prompt I like to use often. The AI models just have a tendency to, give long responses and try to do everything at once. If you just say, but don't overdo it, you kind of chill it out. Like, you tell it to chill, basically. Okay, factory function to create specialized agents for each step. Approve. Main agent that creates initial plan and final summary. Okay. Different prompt based on whether we're creating initial plan or final summary. Oh, interesting. This is very interesting execution. System prompt. This is original system prompt. If not, is final. So if it is final, then it does this. Summarize the following plan into its implementations into a cohesive final strategy. Wow, I like this. Okay, Cursor has impressed me. Cursor keeps impressing me. All right, so then it orchestrates the entire workflow between the CEO. Okay. Maybe we can shorten this. Step 1, get high-level plan from our CEO. Step 2, create. All right, so let's just accept all of these. These are good comments. So these comments help you understand what's happening if you cannot read Python syntax. And again, I just asked Cursor to write these comments, right? Even if I didn't do any Python before, if I've never coded in Python, you can still do stuff. Sure, it will take more time. It will be harder. I'm not denying that. But you can do it. That's the thing. This is the first time in human history where you can build your own startup, even if you're not a programmer. You don't need a co-founder that is a tech guy. You can do it yourself, which is exactly what inspired me to build my own AI startup. Speaking of which, we should probably check this off. Implement chain of thought prompting. We did this, okay? Meaning we told it to break it into steps. Obviously, the system prompt could be a lot better. And in fact, I'm pretty sure we have an entire module on chain of thought prompting in the Advanced AI tutorial in the New Society. So I'm not going to claim these prompts are amazing. They're just a start to get started and to show you that this is possible. But the next step is to split the steps between different AI agents. Before I click that off, let's test it out. And in order to do that, I need to switch to, I don't need to switch. AI model. I just don't want it to take 5 minutes, right? So we have Llama 3.2 for 3 billion, amazing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna replace our model. Actually, let's create two variables, right? Let's create a variable fast equals, and it's gonna be this string, and then slow, but this is gonna be, let's name it powerful. I don't think it's, I don't think it's fair to call it slow. And then in the model, we're just gonna do powerful, but we wanna do fast this time. Okay, so we have two different variables, fast one for Llama 3.2b and then powerful for Nemotron. First, again, if you actually wanted to use it for a real use case, you're not in a rush, right? You can have it running for 5 minutes and it's fine. I'm just gonna say we're gonna do fast just for your guys' sake. So you don't sit with me forever here. Let's run it. This should be a lot faster, hopefully. But actually I want to make sure that these prompts are shown. Okay, let me ask cursor. Just to make sure, we need to have each of the agents print out its response after it does it, including the CEO. That way the user can see what's actually going on as it's going on, or while it's going on. Okay, it's pretty solid. Enter. I'll modify the code. Actually, you may cancel the chat. One more prompt I like to say is like, do not change anything else. That is a bad habit Cursor has. Perhaps this is the biggest downside about Cursor. Okay, I'm not gonna just boost it up, even though it's a great AI tool. Perhaps my favorite AI tool right now. It is not perfect, and one of the biggest downsides is that sometimes it changes lines of code that have nothing to do with what you said. That's perhaps the biggest downside, and honestly, it will be fixed in the next 6 months, guaranteed. It's just that, you have to be careful. So this prompt kinda lowers the chance of that happening, basically. Anyways, let's look at what's going on. So we're updating these 4 lines, added changes, so this is just a print statement, right? So let's accept that. Sounds good. And now we should hopefully see the steps happening as they're happening. And in fact, one more thing, I'm not delaying the inevitable. I just want to show you the difference in speeds in Ollama. So I'm going to say count to 100, the same prompt, and this should be a lot faster. And there it is. It is a lot faster than Nemotron. So that's what I'm saying. Like, all of you can run this model. 3 billion model. It's just 2 gigabytes. Guaranteed all of you can run this. Unless your laptop is from the Soviet Union. Anyways, let's run it. And I want to see the step-by-step reasoning from the AI agents. This is the moment of truth, okay? This is what we've been waiting for. After that, we can check off the steps, and actually even this, optimize for fast completions. Anyways, what is going on? Our CEO is generating the plan. We're not seeing it though. Wait, let's make sure it's actually using the fast model. It is. Oh, the CEO is using the powerful one. Okay, maybe actually this is good. Maybe it's actually good to have the CEO using Nemotron to create a really good plan, and then each of the steps. Okay, what even is our prompt over here? Oh yeah, design a comprehensive 7-day workout plan for weight loss, okay? So, interesting. Now the CEO is deep at work. Let's open up Activity Monitor again. Yeah, we're like 80 gigs of RAM being used. That's crazy. So now we're using Nemotron. Again, if you cannot run Nemotron, you would simply replace here with fast. But our smaller agents should be using Llama 3.2. And I just want to make sure the prompting is good. Like we tell it twice to only focus its own step. You are AI agent step number 3, focused only on implementing step number 3. Okay. Provide detailed, but what? What is this prompting? Provide a detailed but concise implementation. Okay. All right, so now we have the plan. This took a while because we're using Nemotron. Now we should be fast. This should be fast for each step, right? So boom, here's the first step. Boom, here's the second one. So this is going to be Llama 3.2 speeds. Now we're going hard. Nemotron has orchestrated a plan. The CEO, usually the most competent person in the company. If you disagree, you probably have not built the company yourself. Anyways, that's besides the point. What's beautiful is that our team of agents is working, okay? We have 4 different agents that have implemented their own response. Now it goes back to our CEO to generate a comprehensive strategy. So again, this is the Nemotron model. This is going to take a few seconds, at least 30 seconds, to kind of put all these responses together, validate them, ensure that they're relevant, whatever, and summarize it into one concise output for the user. Maybe we should actually also print that out as a txt file, right? That could be one last bonus. But this is good. This is good. We have our own O1. Okay, actually one thing that would be cool is if we can do like token streaming. Is there a way to do token streaming while running with Ollama in Python? The issue is that right now we are not seeing the response as being generated. Okay, there it is. So it's finished. But we wait until it's fully generated and then we see it, which, you know, it's kind of annoying. Anyways, here is the CEO final summary. So even the summary is, it's kind of long, right? Maybe we should tell it multiple times to make it concise. But again, the more concise you make it, the, I guess, less you take advantage of the chain of thought. Anyways, here's the final summary. I guess we didn't give it enough info. So this is going to be a very general training plan. If you gave it your preferences, let's say, you know, maybe you have lower back, maybe you have your hurt shoulder, so you cannot do shoulder exercises. Maybe you prefer to do running or, you know, cycling, whatever. The more context you give it, the better. This was super general prompt, so it's going to be a super general strategy. But the main point is that we have our own team of agents that uses chain of thought prompting that resembles O1. Obviously, it's not going to be as capable as O1 from OpenAI because they have spent billions of dollars on training them and they have unlimited compute power essentially and the backing of Microsoft. But here what we can do with, you know, a single man and a laptop is pretty insane. And all of this is for free. You can use Ollama for free. You can use Nemotron for free. You can use Cursor for free. You can start with. They have like, I think, up to 500 responses or something, or 200. You know, if you're a serious builder, you're going to upgrade, obviously. You can use it. You can start for free, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, okay, let's see. So split the steps between AI agents. This is done. And optimize for fast completions is also done. Actually, let me create one more step. And this is going to be named, make sure we say the final summary as a txt file. Add task. Actually, I put it into personal. So there it is. Make sure we have this. Okay, so let's do that. And actually, we can copy paste the exact task name into Cursor, or say implement this one final change. Also, make sure we are using the fast model everywhere, just to save speeds. Implement this in as few lines of code as possible. Boom, enter. Let's go back. Okay, we can close the terminal by doing Command J. And let's see what Cursor cooks up. I don't know why it's removing the comments. This is also one thing I noticed when using Cursor. It kind of has a habit of removing comments. Again, this is what I mean. Sometimes it's changing stuff it's not supposed to change. So you have to be careful. You cannot just blindly click accept all, right? You're not going to build a startup that way. Maybe in a year, but not now. Okay, we're going to reject this guy. We don't want this change. We don't want this change. I don't know why it's trying to delete this. We do want this change, okay? Again, we don't want to delete this comment, not this comment, not this comment. Cursor has a beef with comments. It's crazy. Okay, so now, yeah, this is good. This is the part we want. We basically save it as a file and then, yeah, that's that. We can remove this. So let's run it. Let's run it one last time. Let's change a different prompt, okay? Okay, I'm not feeling creative. I'm going to say, let's change the question variable to something else. Something that is still practical, but not building a startup or losing weight. Okay, we want a different example. Actually, I used the wrong feature here. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to just highlight this line of code. I want to, the composer has access to all of the entire code base, all of our files. It can mess stuff up. If you want to be specific, you just highlight the section of code you want to change. You can do Control K or Command K and you give it a prompt just for this. So it's limited to the section you highlight. Okay, so create a 30-day plan to learning guitar from scratch. I'm going to probably change to 14-day just to, you know, keep it more concise. 30 days of 30 steps is twice as much as 14. We have, what we have, an error? No. Oh, it's the same terminal. Okay, anyways. So let me run the file. Boom, and as you can see, if we use fast model, aka Llama 3.2 for everything, it's a lot faster for every steps, right? So this is the plan. CEO initial plan, here it is, split into 2 days, into 2-day increments. Then agent 1 just focuses on step 1, which is day of 2. The issue is that we have more than 4 steps. I guess that's issue with our prompting though. But you get the point. I just want to see the final summary being, okay, boom, there it is. We have a TXT file. So now here is our comprehensive plan for learning guitar. Set up the guitar, buying acoustic guitar, complete beginner-friendly lessons, introduce, I don't know nothing about playing guitar, so I'm gonna assume this is fine. In any ways, we have accomplished our final step, completing it, saving as a TXT file, and there it is. We have our local O1. Again, all of this code and all the prompts we used in this video is going to be available in the New Society in the templates and presets section right here. I'm going to put it under AI Agents by David. Yeah, AI Agents by David. This is where it's going to go, and maybe prompts and instructions as well. Again, you can access all of my prompts, all of the AI agents I've built in the past and that I will build in the future in the New Society. So if you're serious about AI and if you want to build a business with AI agents, make sure to join. It's the first link in the description. Regardless if you join or not, thank you for watching and have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.